Today we're going to do a review of the Condor Cavelor knife. Hello, my name is Will from Barefoot Bushcraft, and I so much want to thank you for tuning into this video. As I said, today we are going to do a review of the Condor Cavelor knife. This is made in El Salvador by the company called Condor. Comes in this really unique and historically inspired sheath, and that kind of looks like this. It's got the little, like a little condor logo on it from their company, and then it's all leather, and then it has the little X stitching at the back, and this really cool little belt loop. Now the belt loop itself, you can take that off, I guess, and turn this into a neck knife if you wanted, but it'd be a bit big. So you can kind of take that all apart, just the way it's put together. So it's designed to be a dangler. This was inspired by Ötzi the Iceman, who was discovered in the Alps, and he had a little tiny neck knife. So there's kind of a pairing of the two knives together. So this is the Condor Ötzi knife, and you can see its size. It's very, very small. And this is the Condor Cavelor knife. So they're kind of like a sister brand, which is why I bought both. And you can see they have a very distinct look, a very distinct handle, and they are, other than size, they're kind of identical. Again, this one's quite a bit smaller. This one's quite a bit bigger, but they have the same kind of sheath. They have the same hickory handle. They have the same kind of that little metal wrapping around them. So they did a really neat job of making them a set. Although they don't sell them as a set, they sell them as two independent pieces. But whatever, that's just the way it is. So let's take a close look at it. So the one thing I noticed right away about this blade compared to all the other blades is look at the design on that. So that's been put on there right in the factory, and it's been like stamped on there. So it's all like wiggly. It's designed to kind of be inspired by if this was knapped or flint knapped, right? Or obsidian blade, although it's metal, right? So that's what that's for. It is full tang, which means the blade starts there and it runs all the way down there. And you can see that. And then the handle or the scales are put on there. So these are hickory, by the way, according to Condor. I will put all the specs of the blade right there on the screen so you can pause and you can read those. So that's going to tell you things about how big the blade is, that it's full tang, what the handle is, all that fun information, all those numbers I cannot remember while recording this video, but there they are for those who want to know. So like I said, I'm a big K-bar fan. This has some benefits over some of the K-bars. I would say my closest K-bar to this would be the BK2 series, right? And the BK2 is a good knife, but the downside to it, the trade-off of a big, huge, heavy knife is that it's incredibly heavy, and it's a pain in the butt to carry all the time. This is much lighter, so it's going to be not quite as strong, but it's not quite as thick, but it's still full tang, but it's going to be a little bit lighter on your hip and easier on your hand if I'm doing a lot of very delicate tasks with this. Say I'm using it to, I don't know, peel potatoes or something, right? Or doing a lot of wood carving with it, which is what you use a bushcraft knife for. This is going to be a lot easier on my hand than the super heavy, the Becker series. But again, the trade-off in it not being as as heavy duty is it's not as tough. But if you use it for what it's designed for, you should have this. You should be able to give this to your grandchildren. So this is another close-up of the blade, and you can see it fits very nicely in my hand. Now, I don't have very large hands, but it fits very, very nicely. And it has this beautiful old world look to it. One of the things I really love about just this hickory handle is it just looks beautiful. Like it looks old-fashioned, it looks antique, like it literally looks like it fell out of time. And that's what I love about this blade. And it will probably become, I wear a lot of buckskin and stuff like that, especially around students. So you'll see this a lot in videos that have been made after this. So what is a knife supposed to do? Well, for bushcraft, there's three main tasks. Cutting stuff. All right, here's stuff to cut. Right, we got some of this, I don't know, just regular line. It does exactly that. It cuts stuff. It does exactly what it needs to do. Scanny grind, which is nice if you like that. For those of you who are unaware, a Scandi grind blade, Scanny or Scandi, depending on your pronunciation, means the edge starts right here on the blade, right? And it runs straight up. It doesn't have that double bevel in it that you'll get in American class knives, like in the K-bar and stuff. It just runs straight up, right? And that's cool. The next thing you need to do is you need to be able to cut wood, make shavings. So let's take that. We've got a nice sharp angle, start right there, and we're just going to push down. And look at the shavings that come off this. Look how it curls. I'm not being very careful with these shavings because I'm recording a video and not being the most careful. I just need to get it done. and it does just that. Cuts right through that wood. Now this is ash. You can hear it. Sounds very hard because it is a hard wood, right? So if you were going to use this on softer woods like your pines or whatever, it's going to do an even better job going through softwood. But it cuts through this like it's not even there, and I'm not having to put much effort into it. Now I've had this a few weeks. I've done a whole bunch of different tasks with it. There we go. So that works really well. So it cuts and it makes beautiful, beautiful shavings. I'll make a feather stick with this little guy at the very end here. I guess this is kind of my feather stick. We'll use this, right? So you're going to just start here and you're going to find your corners and you're going to push. It does a good job. It does a really, really nice job. These are more shavings. Being 1095, it's going to have a reasonably good edge retention, and of course, it's going to be, fairly simple to sharpen. Problem with 1095, and don't confuse 1095 carbon steel with 1095 Crovan that K-Bar makes. That's their own proprietary blend of 1095. This is just straight 1095. High carbon means she's going to rust. So if I don't take care of all these little divots and stuff like that, as beautiful as they are, and I get this thing wet or put it away wet, have it out in a storm and don't take good care of it, the moisture is going to rot that. It's going to get some rust or patina on it, as the bushcraft guys like to say. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to put it to the test. We're going to baton through a couple pieces of ash and see how it does, which I'm sure it's going to do great. Next thing we're going to do, it's a fairly small piece of ash. We're going to put the piece here. So of course with batoning, as I'm sure you're aware, you want to ensure that your knife sticks out. If I baton this way, it's going to get stuck. So I want to go cross, right? This nice piece of wood, I can see it's nice. There's no knots or anything in it right yet. So we're just going to take this, and I'm going to take that little baton stick that you literally watch me make, and I'm going to strike the piece of wood right on the top. So this isn't specific to this knife, but you can see when I hit it with this, right, the knife goes right into the wood, and of course it's my split in the wood is right about there, even though the knife blade is way up here, so it's going to pummel through real good. But again, this is something a lot of bushcraft people love to do, is just to take their pieces of wood and to baton with it. It's very hard on the knife. A lot of warranties don't cover batoning, but if it's a good quality knife, that shouldn't be a problem. Go through it another couple times here. As many people judge their bushcraft prowess on the quality of their feather stick, let's make some feather sticks with this. So again, I'm going to start like this, take my beautiful Cavelor, I'm just going to push down, and look at those little shavings that guy makes. That does a really great job. These aren't the best shavings, but they're shavings nonetheless. They'll do. I just wanted to make sure the knife could do the job, and it certainly can do a really beautiful job of shavings. So I just have a couple of concerns about this blade, and the Uzi is the exact same concern. Is number one, that this right there, over time, if you get any moisture trapped in that and you forget about the blade, it's going to get stuck in there, and it's gonna patina the blade or rust the blade, right? My other one, and the Uzi is the exact same style and design, is that this knife sheath, see how it's round? Well, the knife's not round, right? So putting this in and out, especially when it's new, can you see how that's it's cutting into the sheath, right? So the only way around that is what I do is I squeeze it like this, right? And then I push it in, and there we go. Now it's in there. But again, when the knife is fairly new, and this is only a couple months old, is as I'm pulling it out, I can definitely see where that is cutting in to that sheath a little bit, right? So if I'm not careful, or if I'm in a hurry for whatever reason, that's gonna wear through that. It's gonna wear through that really quickly. Just be aware of that. Again, the hope is maybe over time it will automatically sort of take that oval shape, and that won't happen. But it is a possibility that right there you're going to wear through your sheath. Now it's leather, of course, so it's not like it's Kydex or something that's a little longer lasting. Leather is designed to wear. I treat this, you can see, with like wax and stuff like that. I can put wax on it just to make sure that it keeps it in nice shape, and that it keeps that little leather patina. I do like the little belt It does have a lanyard at the back. The lanyard hole is very, very tiny. So if I break this off, it's going to be a bugger to get any kind of small leather, or God forbid, paracord through there if I chose it. Not that I'd put paracord on this piece. But yeah, so there's only the two concerns. Again, is that blade might rust right there, and you might have some cutting issues or some chafing issues with this sheath. But I mean, it's to be expected, it's leather. So there's a review of the Condor Cavelor. Again, it is designed to look very ancient, very antique, and it certainly does. Like, it really matches the buckskin outfit that I've got on. I absolutely love it. Like, I love the wire wrapped on the handles there. I love that it's full tang. That makes it just that much more tough. And that hickory handle, man, like it doesn't have any, it doesn't feel like it's got any coating on it. So I could put like linseed oil or anything like that on it, or just to kind of make it last a little longer. Not that anything's going to happen to it. It will just keep it a little brighter color. So it's a gorgeous, gorgeous knife. And of course, you compare that with the Utsi neck knife, and now you've got a set. So you have the bigger one on your belt for heavier tasks, and the little one around your neck for quick tasks. And they're kind of almost identical in the way that they're built. They're fantastic. But I saw these and I fell in love with this. I fell in love with all the features of the blade. And just that kind of old world antique look of the blade that sets it aside from a good number of other blades on the market, because you don't see this in a lot of production blades. Maybe there's a reason, maybe 2 years from now I'm going to be like, yeah, the thing was all rotten and rusted. I don't know, but I will, as long as you take care of it, it should not. Anyways, that is my review from the Barefoot Bushcraft channel of the Cavelor by Condor, again made in El Salvador. And if you're interested in the Utsi, there's other reviews on this as well, because it's a great little knife to pair with it. So thank you so much for watching this video, and of course, please consider subscribing.